It was the cold, crisp night of January 7, 1609, and Galileo Galilei stood alone on his rooftop balcony, his breath forming small clouds in the frosty air as he adjusted a strange new device. The city of Padua lay quiet below him, unaware that history itself was about to change. Galileo's hands trembled slightly, not from the cold, but from excitement and anticipation. He peered through the eyepiece of his newly crafted telescope, a device whispered about but never perfected until now. What he saw in that single glance would alter humanity's understanding of the universe forever. The telescope was modest, fashioned hastily from lead, wood, and lenses ground meticulously by Galileo himself. Hours of painstaking work had been poured into this instrument, driven by his insatiable curiosity and relentless determination. Galileo had heard rumors of an optical device from the Netherlands that could magnify distant objects, but he sought something far more profound. He longed to reach beyond earthly sights to the heavens themselves. And tonight, the heavens opened up before his very eyes. As Galileo adjusted the focus, the blurred points of starlight sharpened into distinct points, clearer than human eyes had ever witnessed. Heart-pounding, Galileo scanned the velvet-black canvas of night, his breath quickening with wonder and awe. He began carefully noting each celestial object, meticulously recording its brightness and position. But something caught his attention, something strange and unexpected near Jupiter. 4 tiny points of light appeared around Jupiter, perfectly aligned and incredibly bright. Galileo blinked, rubbed his eyes, and looked again, his pulse quickening with excitement. He moved quickly to sketch their positions, making careful notes, refusing to believe what his eyes were clearly showing. He whispered aloud, "These stars, they move around Jupiter, not Earth." The realization struck him like lightning. If these lights orbited Jupiter, then Earth could no longer be the center of all celestial movement, as the ancient Greek Ptolemaic model insisted. In that breathtaking instant, Galileo understood the weight of his discovery. He had just shattered a millennium of astronomical belief. Over the next several nights, Galileo hardly slept. He returned obsessively to his rooftop observatory, ignoring the cold, tirelessly tracking these mysterious celestial companions, confirming night after night their consistent, dance-like movements around Jupiter. Word of Galileo's strange nightly vigils began spreading across Padua. Students whispered excitedly, professors scoffed dismissively, intrigued yet skeptical. Galileo knew his claims would ignite fierce controversy. He already felt the shadowy threat of opposition. Powerful figures deeply rooted in traditional doctrines would see his discoveries as dangerous heresy. But Galileo was undeterred. Truth was his guiding star, brighter than any object in the heavens, and he was ready to risk it all. By March, Galileo had enough evidence and courage to publish his findings in a small but explosive pamphlet called Sidereus Nuncius, the Starry Messenger. The booklet spread rapidly across Europe, its thin pages filled with groundbreaking sketches of the moon's craters and mountains, stars invisible to the naked eye, and the revolutionary moons orbiting Jupiter. Galileo became famous almost overnight, his name echoing in courts, academies, and churches. Curiosity and excitement clashed with fear and disbelief. The Starry Messenger reached Rome, igniting immediate controversy. Cardinals whispered anxiously. Pope Paul V himself received a copy, his reaction unreadable. The Church had long held firmly to an Earth-centered cosmos. Galileo's revelations shook the foundations of belief, threatening not just science but religion, philosophy, and society itself. Galileo's fame brought both praise and peril. Invitations poured in from princes and scholars, eager to witness his telescopic marvels firsthand. Yet alongside admiration came the grim threat of persecution. Galileo knew too well the dangers facing innovators and visionaries, remembering the fate of Giordano Bruno, burned alive barely 9 years before for daring similar claims. Still, Galileo pressed onward, fueled by the irresistible thrill of discovery. He continued perfecting his telescopes, constructing ever stronger lenses that reached deeper into the universe. With each improvement, more secrets unfolded. Saturn appeared strangely elongated, a puzzle for future astronomers. Venus, observed nightly, revealed phases like the moon, directly challenging traditional geocentric doctrines even further. By late autumn, Galileo had documented the rich tapestry of the heavens with stunning clarity. Star clusters appeared as sparkling jewel boxes, nebulae hung ghostly in the depths of space, and the Milky Way revealed itself not as a cloudy myth, but as a dazzling river of countless stars, more than human minds had ever imagined. Galileo's excitement and passion captivated many, but also ignited fierce hostility. Critics labeled him reckless, arrogant, even heretical. Galileo, however, remained steadfast. With every attack, he doubled down, determined to defend his discoveries and humanity's right to truth. He traveled extensively, lecturing passionately, demonstrating his telescope before astonished audiences, fighting to open minds closed by tradition and fear. Yet even Galileo, courageous and defiant, began feeling the heavy weight of resistance. Powerful figures within the church openly condemned him, warning that questioning Earth's central place threatened sacred scripture itself. Rumors spread of potential trials for heresy. Friends urged caution, begging Galileo to temper his assertions to compromise. Galileo faced a profound choice: safeguard his life and freedom or continue boldly forward, risking everything for truth. Sleepless nights tormented him, his mind a battlefield between caution and courage. But Galileo's heart, driven by a fierce love of discovery and knowledge, refused retreat. In a defiant letter to his friend Johannes Kepler, Galileo vowed he would never abandon truth, no matter the personal cost. The telescope had already transformed Galileo's world, and now threatened to destroy it. But Galileo knew his work had already sparked a revolution that no power on Earth could silence. Even if he fell, others would rise, inspired by the glimpse he had provided into the infinite universe beyond. Galileo Galilei's first telescopic observation on that cold January night had opened a gateway humanity could never close again. The heavens had become accessible, understandable, yet infinitely more complex and astonishing than ever imagined. Galileo had lit a fire that would blaze across centuries, challenging humanity to reach higher, think deeper, and dream bigger. In the coming years, Galileo would indeed face severe trials, persecution, and imprisonment. Yet even in suffering, he remained resolute, his spirit never broken. His courageous stand became an eternal symbol of the unstoppable power of truth and discovery. As Galileo's aged eyes grew dimmer in his final days, a quiet peace settled within him, knowing his legacy was secure. He had changed the world by daring to look up, to see clearly, and to share bravely what he saw. On that rooftop, under the infinite canopy of stars, Galileo had not merely observed the universe. He had forever changed how humanity understood its place within it. His discoveries marked the dawn of modern astronomy, influencing generations of scientists and philosophers who followed. The very foundations of human knowledge were shaken and rebuilt upon Galileo's daring observations, inspiring endless exploration and discovery. He had set humanity on a path toward unlocking the universe's greatest mysteries, creating a legacy that would stretch far beyond his lifetime and echo through the ages.